Greeting learners. So today we'll be handling biology from one work. That is Unit 5. The topic is nutrition in plants and animals. But for today, we'll be majorly focusing on nutrition in plants, whereby we shall be looking at which type of nutrition do plants actually take part in, or which type of nutrition do they actually practice. So plants are major organisms in our environment. They belong to multicellular organisms, a group of organisms called multicellular organisms, and they have that ability of manufacturing their own food. So in that case, their major mode of nutrition is called autotrophism. So what is this that we call autotrophism? So let's check that. Autotrophism So this is the process. So actually call it, this is the mode. So you define the mode of nutrition in which organisms manufacture their own food. So the unique thing about plants are the only organisms, in addition to some bacteria, they're the only organisms that are able to make their own food using the easily available materials in the environment. So this is the mode of nutrition in which organisms manufacture their own food. So organisms which are able to make their own food, their collective name, therefore we call them autotrophs. There's another word here called autotrophs. Autotrophs, these are organisms which make their own food. So these are organisms which make their own food. So e.g., we can have types of autotrophs, there are two. We can have e.g. the major autotrophs in the environment, e.g. members of kingdom Plantae. So those are some major kingdom Plantae. So you know there are some of members of kingdom Plantae includes things like e.g. plants that you know, e.g. maize plant, the common ones bean plant. So e.g. kingdom Plantae. So we have major categories. You can have examples there: maize plant and bean plant. Another kingdom that can be able to make their own food, though not exactly like the plants, we have kingdom. So kingdom Monera, some of the members of kingdom Monera. So example, we have kingdom Monera. So examples, e.g. we can have blue, green, algae. So though it is, you can see the word algae, we know algae usually belongs to kingdom Proccess, but this is a type of bacteria usually called blue, green, algae. So in short, that is what you're going to check on this topic. We're going to check out autotrophism, whereby organisms are able to manufacture their own food using the easily available materials in the environment. Then we can also be looking at autotrophs. These are organisms. So there's a difference. Autotrophism, this word phism means mode of nutrition. Autotrophs, these are organisms. So that is the difference. This is a mode and these are the organisms. So if an organism is able to make their own food, they are called autotrophs. So next, we'll be checking out autotrophism. In this case, we'll be checking out autotrophism. So which types of autotrophisms do we have? So we have said we have autotrophism, so let's check out autotrophism. What is autotrophism? seen autotrophism. This is a mode of nutrition in which organisms make their own food. So let's check out types of autotrophism. Types of autotrophism. So we have two types. Number one, we have what we call chemosynthesis. So what is this that we call chemosynthesis? From the word chemo, it means chemicals. So this case, this is the process. This is the process by which some organisms, not all of them, some organisms make their own food using chemical energy. So from the word chemosynthesis, synthesis means manufacture, chemo means chemicals. So what is the source of energy? The source of energy here is chemical energy obtained from chemical reactions in their bodies. So actually they depend on chemical reactions that takes place in their bodies to be able to obtain the chemical energy. So the word chemosynthesis means this is the process by which some organisms make their own food using chemical energy obtained from chemical reaction in their bodies. So examples of those organisms include the one that we mentioned and autotrophs, e.g. blue, green, algae. So it actually belongs to members of kingdom Monera. They are able to use chemical reactions taking place in their bodies to be able to make their own food. The next type of nutrition that we'll be checking out, the major one that we'll be looking at, is called photosynthesis. It's called photosynthesis. So actually we've known this one for a long time, photosynthesis. What is this that we call photosynthesis? So that was chemosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means manufacture. So what is the source of energy? The source of energy under photosynthesis is light. So we can actually say, we can say this. This is the process by which green, so the word green, I'll tell you why green is important. This is a process by which green plants manufacture. Green plants manufacture their own food using the available materials in the environment. Such as carbon dioxide. Apart from carbon dioxide, water, and from the word photo, we actually say in presence. Very important. In presence of sunlight energy. In presence of sunlight energy. So photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make their own food using the available materials in the environment, such as carbon dioxide, water, in presence of sunlight, energy. And apart from that, the other requirement that you'll be looking at under this, when you're looking at photosynthesis, from the word green, it means there is presence of chlorophyll that will be used to trap what? The sunlight energy. So now, let's check on what we call photosynthesis, the process of photosynthesis. How does it take place? How do green plants actually able to manage to carry out the process of photosynthesis? So let's check on the process of photosynthesis. So how does photosynthesis take place in that case? Process of photosynthesis. All right. The process of photosynthesis. Now going back in Form 1 when we're looking at, so it's topic 1, not topic 1, topic, this is topic 2, whereby we are looking at the cell. The cell, under the cell we were looking at the cell organelles. So the specific organelle in plants where photosynthesis takes place is called the chloroplast. So we can actually start by that. So we say that photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. Takes place in the chloroplast. So the spelling is very important. Chloroplast of the green plants. So remember green plants. The word green is very important in green plants. Takes place in the chloroplast of the green plants. Now, for photosynthesis to take place, we have certain requirements that are there. So actually the structure and function of the chloroplast, actually we'll be looking at it under this stage, so the process of photosynthesis. So let's check on the requirements needed. So what are the requirements for photosynthesis to take place? Conditions necessary. What must be there? Conditions necessary for photosynthesis. So there's a difference between conditions and raw materials. Conditions necessary for the process of photosynthesis. So the first condition, there must be the presence of chlorophyll. There must be the presence of chlorophyll. What is the role of the chlorophyll? So the chlorophyll, in this case, the role of the chlorophyll is to trap. The role of the chlorophyll is to trap sunlight energy. The role of the chlorophyll is to trap sunlight energy. So the next raw material is this one. As not raw material, the next condition, there must be the presence of sunlight. So there is other lights that can be used, but the strongest light that is available for plants is what we call the sunlight. Major reasons, there's a lot of quality. So looking at light quality, there's a lot of quality in sunlight. That's not. So sunlight energy. So what is the work of sunlight? So sunlight energy provides energy used during the process of photolysis. So we shall be taking what photolysis is under photosynthesis. So sunlight energy provides energy used during the process of photolysis and manufacture of ATP, a very important compound that you will also be checking under the process of photosynthesis. So those are the conditions necessary for photosynthesis to take place. Without them, there's actually no photosynthesis. So light, from the word photo, you get light. What traps the light? It is the chlorophyll molecule that traps sunlight energy. So that is the first, those are the two conditions that must be given to plants for them to be able to carry out the process of photosynthesis. Another condition that actually though it is not mostly written, other condition that must be there, we have what you call photosynthetic enzymes. What are the roles of these photosynthetic enzymes? The roles of the photosynthetic enzyme, an enzyme is known to speed up the rate of a biochemical reaction. So actually this is a chemical process. Photosynthesis is a chemical process. So for this process to be faster, there must be photosynthetic enzymes. Their work is to speed up the rate. Of. So remember we're combining several chemical substances, like for example carbon dioxide combines with hydrogen to give us simple sugars such as glucose. For that process to be faster, the process must be what? To speed up the rate of reaction. So then we shall be looking at steps of reaction that is taking place. Next, let's check on raw materials for photosynthesis. Some of the raw materials that we know, you can be thinking about them. Some of the raw materials that you know. Raw materials means these are materials that are directly used. They're used directly. That piece. So what are some of the substances that are used directly during the process of photosynthesis? So let's take a look at them. The raw materials for photosynthesis. Number one. So let's look at raw materials for photosynthesis. So the first raw material here we'll be looking at is water. What is water? Why is water very important in plants? So you can be thinking about the functions of water. So let's check the role of water under the process of photosynthesis. Raw materials for photosynthesis. Number one, role of water. It is used to provide hydrogen atoms used during carbon dioxide fixation. So carbon dioxide fixation, we shall be looking at what it is. So actually it is a process that takes place during the second stage of photosynthesis. So it is used to provide hydrogen atoms. Used during carbon fixation. Next one, let's check the another raw material. Itself is called carbon dioxide. What is the role of carbon dioxide? So actually this is one of the things that if it misses, actually there is no photosynthesis. We can have light, we can have water, but if there is no carbon dioxide, the process it cannot take place, in short. So let's look at carbon dioxide. What is the role of carbon dioxide? It combines with hydrogen. Atoms to form simple simple sugar here, specifically it is called glucose. So actually that is what takes place during the process of carbon dioxide fixation. So those are the key things to note under the raw materials. Now, during photosynthesis, we need water, we need carbon dioxide, and another thing we'll also be taking after this. So we say the raw materials is water and carbon dioxide. So as you can see, these two substances are directly used. It is used to provide hydrogen atoms. The word used during carbon dioxide fixation. Next one, carbon dioxide. It combines, so they are directly used. The two are directly used. So that's why we call them raw materials for the process of photosynthesis. Next, let's check on major products. Major products. So actually, what did we say photosynthesis is? Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make their own food. So what is the main food manufactured by plants? So major products. Major products of photosynthesis. So what is the main product of the process of photosynthesis? What do actually plants produce? So the major product of photosynthesis here is glucose. Glucose is our main product. So this glucose is the main product. Actually, it is the main source of energy in most living organisms. Other products of photosynthesis, other products include other products. So they are important actually. They are actually important to plants, but the main one was what? Glucose. So we can ask ourselves, why do we eat some food obtained from plants and we say they have proteins? So to call proteins, we have vitamins. Also we have proteins, vitamins. Apart from vitamins, we have lipids obtained actually from the granules. So actually these are some of the products that are actually produced by plants. Apart from glucose. Glucose belongs to a broader category of carbohydrates. Actually, the class is monosaccharides. So those are the other products. Now, there's another word that we usually use here. It was the byproducts. The other word that we use is byproducts. So these are the other products of photosynthesis. Other products that are actually gotten from photosynthesis are those. So to call up proteins, vitamins, lipids. So let's check the byproducts. What are the byproducts? What is the major byproducts? So our main focus was making food, right? Our main focus was making food. These are food. This is food. Glucose is food. Proteins is food. Vitamins is food. Lipids are actually food. But as the process is taking place, there's another item, there's another thing that is released, which has no use. We don't use it as food, but actually still released anyway. So the major byproduct of photosynthesis is called oxygen. The major byproduct of photosynthesis is called what? Oxygen. It is released during the process of photolysis of water. So the next thing that we'll be checking out here, so you actually know now what you need for this process to take place. We have looked at the raw materials. We have checked the conditions that must be there. We have also checked the major product of photosynthesis should be glucose. Other products that are also released during the process of photosynthesis is proteins, vitamins, lipids, and the byproduct that is released is called oxygen. So now let's check the stages of photosynthesis. The stages of photosynthesis. The stages of photosynthesis. Stages of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis takes place in two stages. And those two stages takes place at different parts of the chloroplast. Remember, we said that photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. So we have specific stages and the specific places where these processes occurs. So the first stage, actually there are two stages. So the first stage, it's called the light stage. So we have two stages, light stage. The other name for light stage, it can also called light dependent stage. It's also called light dependent stage. The other name, so these are the two major stages. These are the two names that you can give it. Light stage, light dependent stage. Next one, the next stage is called, dark stage. Dark stage, also called light independent. Light independent. Light independent stage. Other name, we can also call it light reaction, dark reaction. So these are the major stages of photosynthesis. We can call them light stage, light independent, or light reaction. Dark stage, call it dark stage. Sorry for that. It's supposed to be dark stage, also called light independent. The other one, we can also add the word dark reaction or light reaction. So let's start with the first stage. It's called light stage of photosynthesis. Light stage of photosynthesis. Also, we call it light dependent. From the word dependent, it needs light for it to proceed. So we can actually say that this takes place in the granum. So granum means it is warm. Takes place in the granum of the chloroplast. Takes place in the granum of the chloroplast. This takes place in the granum of the what? Of the chloroplast. So underline the word granum and underline the word. So that is the next one that we'll be underlining. In presence of light. So it takes place in the granum of the chloroplast in the presence of light. That's why we say it is called light dependent stage. Next one, the next thing about this process, it takes place. So it takes place in presence of light. In that case, that is what we've seen already. So it takes place in the presence of light, but the specific place where it takes place in the what? In the granum. Now, why should it take place in the granum? So the granum contains stacks. It contains stacks of thylakoid. So thylakoid contains stacks of thylakoid, which has plenty of chlorophyll. Remember, let's go back. We say, what is the work of the chlorophyll? The work of the chlorophyll was to trap light. Stacks of thylakoid contains plenty of chlorophyll that traps light. So that's why we call it light stage. So it has plenty of, that contains plenty of chlorophyll that traps light. So now we are going to check what happens, what is the use of light. So that traps light. Now we go to the next thing. Let's look at the role of light now. The light energy trapped, So we want to list down. What are the uses of light during light stage of reaction? We already said this takes place in the granule of the chloroplast in presence of light. Now the light has been emphasized here. The granule contains stacks of thylakoid, which has plenty of chlorophyll that traps light. Now, the light energy that has been trapped by what? By the chlorophyll is used for, so let's look at that one as our next thing. The light energy is used for, so remember we're still under the light stage. The light energy, we're still under the light stage. So the light energy is used for, so actually we can actually repeat that. The light energy is used for number one, there's a process called photolysis. So actually you can say photolysis. What is photolysis? This is the splitting of light. Sorry, this is the splitting of water molecules. Water molecules into two things. So remember, what is a compound? Splitting of water molecules. Remember, water is a what? What is a compound made up of hydrogen and oxygen. So when water is being split by the use of light energy, so into hydrogen atom, so actually two of them, hydrogen atoms and oxygen gas. Hydrogen atom and oxygen gas. Next, the another use of light, in this case, number two, problem light number two. Light energy is used in manufacture. So just for the space, oxygen gas. So number two use of light is, let's check, manufacture of ATP. What is ATP in full? ATP in full means adenosine. So let's write just in full so that you can see. Manufacture of adenosine triphosphate. In brackets, ATP. Now, so there are two things that are very important here. We need hydrogen atoms and we need this ATP molecule that has been manufactured. So how does the ATP manufacture takes place? ATP manufacture takes place whereby light is used to combine. Light is used to combine two phosphate molecule with one phosphate. So for space issues, we can actually take another one. Light is used to combine two phosphate molecules. So that is role number two of light. That case, light is used to combine. Number one, that is number two, manufacture of So manufacture of adenosine triphosphate in brackets ATP. So you can say light is used. So actually say light energy, specific. Light energy is used to combine two phosphates, phosphate molecule with one phosphate molecule to make. So two phosphate molecule, there's a name for it, network adenosine diphosphate with a phosphate, so that is okay. With one phosphate molecule to make adenosine triphosphate. So a simple equation for that, we can actually write ADP means standing for adenosine diphosphate plus